In this episode, I talk about scalable documentation for design clients. Welcome to episode 127 of the Honest Entrepreneur Show, where I help creatives like you to master your marketing. My name's Tom Ross, and let's get into the show. Today, guys, I'm going to be very open with you. I am definitely in the same boat as many of you with what I'm doing here with my personal brand. I have a very long to-do list. I can kind of see the path ahead that I should be taking, and I just can't seem to find the time. And I hate that as an excuse. But recently, after burning myself out pretty hard and my health suffering, I'm having to scale back. And I'm taking my own advice. I'm trying to scale back my expectations. So I'm no longer working 90-hour weeks. That's ultimately a good thing. But it means I'm getting less stuff done. And that really frustrates me, to be honest, because I tend to be quite ambitious. I want to push this as much as I possibly can. But I'm just going to have to be the tortoise, not the hare in this scenario. I'm going to have to bide my time, keep grinding it out and just have slow but steady progress.
This question is from Bautista. I've been following you on Instagram and had a question about how to grow my creative business. When you talk about scalable documentation for onboarding clients, what does that mean? Could you go into greater detail, please? And thanks for all these powerful insights, by the way. I'm feeling pumped.
Keep the laughter in, by the way, because that was a genuine reaction. Pumped. Bautista, that's a really good question. So first of all, I recommend go and check out the DesignCuts community weekly hangout. We do them every single week on a Thursday. We did one with Matt Slyton, who's our creative director. He literally screen shared his old agency's documentation. So that's going to give you a nuts and bolts look. But in terms of what I mean by scalable documentation, scalable in the sense that you create documents to avoid needing to have the same conversations over and over and over and over again and having to remember the same details and so on. The document scales you as an asset, and does so hopefully in a pretty slick and polished way. So in terms of stuff for clients, in terms of documentation, this could be something that onboarded them and kind of concisely and clearly explained how the process would work. So you can hand that over and say, hey, we've had a bit of a chat, but if you want some more detail on exactly how the process of working with me will transpire and look like, then you can read through this. And it's a really handy small guide, which is going to explain that. Similar thing if you have questions that you quite often ask your clients to elicit what type of work is going to resonate with them and learn more about their company to better inform your creative process. Have that as a document. That should be a nice PDF. It can be an interactive, editable questionnaire type thing, and they can fill that out. In a similar way, it could be stuff like getting all your contracts for clients ready. Endless stuff, to be honest. Like anything that you find yourself doing over and over and over again with every single client, get a contract, get a document, get a questionnaire, like get these guides in place, because then next time you get a client, you can say, awesome, like excited to be working with you. Here's everything you need. And it will just help walk them through the process. And it looks so much more professional. So I saw the documents that my business partner, Matt, used to use. They were really slick. And so as much as people love that face-to-face interaction with their designer, if you've got like really, really beautifully designed, polished documents, it helps elevate your perceived value. It helps reduce the time that you spend. And for example, I know Marco behind the camera, you're doing your wedding business right now. You probably get shit which clients ask you every single time, right? And there's only so many times you can have the same conversations. It's kind of draining. It's the same thing at my company, DesignCuts. Like we're looking at stuff when new people join our team. A lot of the time they go through the same processes, but if you've got a bit of time between hires, you kind of forget. You're like, oh yeah, what do we do next? We need to set up their laptop and we need to like install these apps and we need to give them a guide explaining how some HR bits. work, and it's really draining just to kind of have that in your head. So when you get the processes and the documentation in place, I am someone that used to find that stuff so boring. It was the last thing I wanted to pay attention to. But trust me, it is preferable to pulling your hair out, wasting your time, being inefficient, repeating yourself over and over. When you get that stuff in place, it can work wonders. So I highly recommend every creative do that. You invest the upfront time to save yourself time forever. Question of the day, documentation. Is it a boring but necessary evil? Or is it something that you're kind of excited about? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm really enjoying the YouTube show. If you are too, then be sure to hit the subscribe icon and tick the little bell to get notifications when I post new content on this platform.